I'll dance, dance, dance with my hands, hands, hands above my head, 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 like Jesus said. Yeah, that's right. I'm here doing a video about Netflix's Wednesday Addams. And hopefully taking it in a slightly different direction from the direction other people have already taken it. I actually haven't watched too many people's videos about Wednesday, so maybe somebody else has already mentioned this. But today we're going to talk about asexuality and the Wednesday Addams show, but not in the way that you probably think we are. This is not scripted, so I'm just kind of doing this off the cuff, and hopefully editing Julian will be able to come up with something that makes sense. So for the show overall, I did enjoy it, and while I don't think it's a perfect show, there were definitely aspects that I really liked. Would have liked to see more classrooms, like we got an example of one class, and I was like, if you're gonna have a magical school, I need to know the other classes that these people are taking. And also just like not enough cool powers just in general, but overall I still liked the show. Now, I hesitated to watch the show because I was hearing on Twitter a lot of people talking about AceBaiting. What's AceBaiting? Well, I'm sure you've heard of queerbaiting. Let me read you the definition from Wikipedia. Queerbaiting is a marketing technique in fiction or entertainment in which creators hint at but do not depict same-sex romance or other LGBTQ plus representation. So I suppose AceBaiting could fall under that because we're LGBTQ. It's the A, LGBTQA plus, we're the A. Fun fact. Anyway, specifically AceBaiting was being talked about on my Twitter because I follow a lot of fellow asexual creators. They were talking about Wednesday and their frustration with Wednesday because they had always seen her as Ace, or she seemed to be being portrayed as Ace in the show, only for her to end up with at least one romantic interest. By the way, this is gonna have all the spoilers for the Wednesday Addams show, just so you're aware. This is full spoilers, full steam ahead. So I was hesitant to watch the show because I'm like, ugh, am I gonna be really excited about her as a potentially ace character, and then the show's gonna ruin it? I already know that they do. But watching the show, I'll be honest, Wednesday did not actually strike me as an asexual. Now maybe it was because going in, I knew, but she just didn't. She didn't strike me as a sort of character that I would immediately latch onto as an ace person and be like, that one, I headcanon that one as ace, which happens fairly frequently whenever I watch movies or TV. She could be somewhere on the ace spectrum and, you know, still kissing boys and whatever, and a lot of people were also upset. They were like, she's aromantic but homosexual, or vice versa, she's asexual but homoromantic. People were upset because Wednesday did not fall into where they were hoping that she would on the ace spectrum, and I totally get that. I was never attached to Wednesday Addams as an ace character myself, as a headcanon ace character, but if I had been hoping that she was going to turn out to be on the ace spectrum and then felt that she wasn't portrayed that way in the show, I'd be upset too. But that's not actually what I'm here to talk about today. I'm actually here to talk about Enid.
Howdy, Rumi.
Yeah, she's not an ace character. Enid, I don't know if you noticed in some of her scenes, is also a very clumsy metaphor for queerness. Tim Burton, bless him, he tries. He loves themes of outcasts, and this whole show is right into his wheelhouse of outcastness and outcasts within societies of outcasts, and it's like outcasts all the way down. And he, I think, intellectually understands that queer people are often outcasts, but he doesn't really know, or the writers, whoever is responsible for this, I'm blaming Tim Burton, doesn't exactly know how to implement that queerness. And so we have Enid, who seems to be an awkward metaphor for queerness, especially when it comes to her family, who are not satisfied that she has not transformed into a werewolf yet. She has not wolfed out.
Have you wolfed out yet?
No.
Well, that is a disappointment.
And watching those scenes with Enid and going, ooh, this is a very clumsy metaphor and they are not succeeding in what they think they are, in my opinion, I was struck by how much it felt like being ace. And I'm sure a lot of other queer identities did resonate with that moment with Enid and her mother, even if it was very clumsy. But specifically, being ace kind of comes with a feeling of lack of something. So we are not sexually attracted to anyone. Or if you're aromantic, you're not romantically attracted to anyone. And so that can come with a whole feeling of being empty or broken or missing something. And I think with Enid, that actually came through unintentionally on the part of the creators, because her parents, or her mother specifically, are pushing her like, why haven't you wolfed out? Why haven't you become a werewolf yet? And that resonated with me as an ace person, because people expect you to be sexual. And if you're not, after you reach a certain age, you start to feel like there's something wrong with you and you are broken.
That's me. Huge disappointment.
So I was actually kind of excited to have in Enid a character who read a little bit like she was going through something that aces go through. And I felt like Enid's situation slotted very well into the ace experience because it is a lack. She's not saying, oh, I can't wolf out, but I'm doing this instead. So I was pretty disappointed, honestly, when Enid was able to wolf out in the end, because what little metaphor she had as a character, clumsy as it was, went right out the window when she was able to do the thing that her parents were pressuring her to do all along. She just needed the right motivation. And it strikes again that aceness coming from an ace reading of it, in that many people believe that all aces need is the right relationship, the right sexual encounter. Oh, you just need to find the one, and then you'll be able to feel sexual attraction. And it doesn't work like that.
That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
And so as I was reading Enid for a very clumsy metaphor for aceness, her ability to then turn into the werewolf at the end pretty much ruined that, and I felt kind of disappointed by that plot point. And of course, I know I'm going to have somebody in the comments being like, Julian, this was never intended to be a metaphor for aceness, and the fact that she transforms in the end, just get over it. That's what the creators intended. But just talking about what the creators intended in art is not my favorite way to experience art. I like to look at what the creators intended, but also what they maybe accidentally put into the art, what I can interpret through the art. As an artist myself, I understand that people are going to get things from my books that I never intended for them to get, things I never intentionally put in there, but I'm excited and thrilled to see what they will get from my books that I never expected or intended. So I love going deeper like this and looking into what the creator maybe accidentally did without meaning to. But we can tell that Enid is at least a very clumsy metaphor for queerness with the whole conversion camp thing.
So camps for lycanthropy conversion?
No need to be dramatic, Enid.
You want to send me to conversion therapy for werewolves?
Like, you don't get more heavy-handed than that. So even if I was not coming at it from an ace angle, I think I would still be frustrated that after all of that, Enid did the thing that her parents wanted her to do.
I just hope that one day you'll finally be able to accept me for who I am.
It is really a pity to me, though, that with all of this allegory for queerness going on and all of this text and subtext about outcasts, that Burton only went with what I feel is possibly the safest possible example in an established lesbian couple, and there's really no other actual queerness in the show, and that's just kind of a pity if you ask me. There was plenty of allegory for queerness, but when it came down to actual queerness on screen, I feel like he dropped the ball. Now, this is just my opinion, but possibly it is because Burton has always preferred to play it very safe within his wheelhouse, and only very recently has even started casting black people in his work. So I think perhaps he is just coming around to some of these things very slowly as an artist.
So yeah, those were my thoughts on aceness in Wednesday Addams. What do you think? You probably hate my take, but I don't care. Comment below and let me know. Were you disappointed that Wednesday wasn't ace? Do you still think that she is? Because she totally could be. Is Enid a clumsy metaphor for aceness by accident, or was it on purpose? What did you think of Enid and the whole plot line with her family and the werewolf conversion camps? Do you think it was done well? Or are you like me and think it was pretty clumsy? Comment below and let me know. I would love to hear all of your thoughts, obviously. your well-reasoned thoughts. No bullying of me or each other in the comments, pretty please. It's just a show and we can all have fun talking about it. Thanks for watching this. I have lots of videos here on my channel. I have a whole playlist about being asexual, so if you're more interested in that, maybe this is the first time you're hearing about asexuality and you're like, what's that? I've got videos, check them out. Links all over the place. I'm also an author and I write books with queer and asexual characters in all of them. And you can support me on my Patreon, where you get access to content not seen here on the regular channel. Thanks so much for watching today, and I will see all of you again next time with whatever it is I happen to be doing next time. Bye!